What's up, Twitch and YouTube? I'm here with my guy Dill TV for episode 40 of Around the Gjallarhorn. We're almost getting to that 50 episode mark, so really excited to have Dill on the podcast. Appreciate him taking time out of his busy schedule to sit down and do the interview. First and foremost, welcome, Dill. Thank you for doing the podcast, man. Appreciate you coming through for the interview, man.
Thanks for having me.
Of course, man. And the first thing I want to get into, because the whole point of this is just kind of tell your story, your content journey, and learn a little bit more about you. Where are you from, and where do you currently reside at?
So I am from Fredericksburg, Virginia. Now there's like a running joke that I'm from West Virginia. I am not from West Virginia, but so I'm still in Fredericksburg as well, Virginia. Still there. I live with my parents, in the basement. No, I'm kidding. But we're back home now, and then here soon though, I will say, in like a year or so, I do plan on moving to New Jersey.
Nice. Let's go. And what makes New Jersey the destination? That's a bit of a change for sure. Why are you thinking that is the location?
So for me, just literally almost all my friends, they live in New Jersey. So it's like, I don't know. Everyone always says like in your 20s, go live with your friends or something like that, right? Yeah. Or like just do like, just do something new, and I can't just, sit in the setup. Got to go out and do things,
Absolutely,
and
man.
New Jersey just seems like the best place for it because, like I said, all my friends are there.
Yeah, that's awesome, man. And so what led so these are guys that grew up in Virginia with you, and then did they go there for college or something, or what is it that pulled them in that area? New Jersey's a good place to be at.
So I went to college at Shenandoah University and met a bunch of people there. These are all like my college friends, and they also they're from New Jersey, so they're like going back home. And for me, it's just like I said, I just want to do something new. And I've been there a couple of times. It was a lot of fun. And just want to go, just do some things on the weekend, not just set up the entire time and play Madden. That can be the majority of it, but Yeah,
it's definitely important to get that like work-life balance. And when your work is like video games and it's like an indoor activity, got to get that vitamin D in some way. But
exactly.
Yeah, man. You said you went to Shenandoah College. So what were you studying when you went to college? What was your major?
Ooh, do you just want like the entire story of like the college life? Because
I do.
It's like a lot. It's a lot. All right.
You can give me an abbreviated version, a full-length version, whatever you're comfortable sharing. We want to hear it. Where the people need to know.
Gotcha. So went to Shenandoah, right? It's a small little like D3 school for football.
Yeah.
Or like I went there for football, right? Like I was playing football like ever since I was like 6 years old, right? And I was a center. And they were just like a school where honestly, me and a couple of like my best buddies from high school, we all got recruited there. We're like, all right, we're just going to team up. We're going to go to Shenandoah. And it was all like also too, because the school wasn't that good. We were all supposed to get like playing time relatively soon.
Yeah.
So the main thing was football. But like for me, like I did think about, okay, I'm not going to the NFL, even though maybe I can pass off as Jason Kelce. I'm not Jason Kelce.
Jason Kelce light. There you go.
Yeah. So one of the like key things that got me to Shenandoah was their sport management program at the time, right? So I went there, I went on a visit, and I talked to the director of sport management, and they basically said like, yeah, we work events like the Super Bowl, like the college football playoff, NHL All-Star game, and I was like, I want to do that. So I was pretty much after my first visit, I was like, I want to go there. I like the small class sizes because pretty much everyone knows everyone. It's kind of just like a glorified high school at that point because it's just small. It's just like a pretty small school. Sure. You get to know your teachers too. And I just don't think for me, like I'm a pretty anxious person. I don't really like a lot of people, like being around a ton of people, but just like the small class sizes, that's what like just like a bunch of things, football, sport management, class sizes. Now I get to Shenandoah, right? And I get there a little bit earlier because the athletes, you got to do like the 2-a-days, got to do like the crazy training or whatever, right? So first day we have our conditioning tests. Now, I'm a little, I won't lie, I'm a little bit tubby at this point, okay? Kind of let myself go a little bit. Yeah. So back in my heyday though, I was dunking, I was, we were an athlete, okay? So the conditioning test was, I believe it was 11 110s, which for like a football field, obviously it's 100 yards, and then like the end zone is like 10 yards. Yeah. So it was pretty much run that 11 times a certain time zone. I was the only freshman offensive lineman to pass the conditioning test.
Let's go.
So it
Let's
was already
go.
looking
Elite.
good. I was already second string, the person ahead of me was a senior. I was like, okay, so pretty much this year I'm going to be like, we're going to ride the pine a little bit. Maybe I'll
Yeah,
get
yeah.
in when, the team's up a lot. But then
Yeah.
that third day of camp, right? I remember this drill like it was yesterday. So, do you know what a reach block is in football? Like pretty much you take
Yeah.
like a big like outside step with like
Yeah,
your
yeah, yeah.
say I'm stepping with my right leg.
Yeah.
So they had this drill where it was like we both tried to reach block each other. So I'm
Yeah.
like stepping like this, and the other dude like is doing like the same thing to me, right? So we do that, and then my knee just like kind of it doesn't like snap, but I hear like a
Little
pop, like a
Yeah, yeah.
snap, right?
Oh, damn.
So yeah, that was the end of the Dill Shenandoah what's it called football
And
journey.
this is before the season even starts. This is during your
Yep,
2 days. Oh my God,
yep. It
man.
was literally the third day of camp. So I tore my MCL, ACL, PCL, everything with the
Holy cow,
CL
man.
and meniscus. It was
That's
everything.
that's like the
So
Teddy Bridgewater knee
yeah,
injury. That's like a serious
it was
one.
bad. It was
Holy cow,
bad.
man.
Like,
Yeah.
yeah, it was it was not what's it called. And also like fun little thing. Not really fun, but
Yeah.
so the first day they were like, "Oh yeah, it was just your meniscus." They put me on an exercise bike like 30 minutes after and I
Without
couldn't
any
move my
tendons in your
leg.
knee.
I
That's
couldn't.
insane.
Yeah, I literally couldn't move my leg, man. That was
Oh,
man.
dude, that's
But
scary stuff.
yeah. That was not really fun. So a while for me, I was always someone like growing up, right? Like I had football, I had stuff to do. So
Yeah.
a lot of like this entire like finding what to do, right? Like I just had so much time on my hand that I wasn't used to, right? So,
Yeah.
and honestly, like, you're sitting down, like I couldn't really move.
Yeah.
That's why we still got the weight from the what's it called surgery. But
Yeah, yeah.
nah, for real though, like it was just tough like trying to figure out what to do, right? And like for a while, like I really just sat in my room, played video
Yeah.
games, and that's like it,
Yeah.
and I couldn't even like go out to party or anything because it's not like I
Yeah,
could
you got
really
crutches out
like
and you
yeah, yeah,
can
yeah,
one
yeah. It's
wrong
like
step and you're on your
yeah,
ass. Yeah.
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 So for like a year, like that was, I'll be honest, that's like one of the lowest points of my life because it was just like
Yeah.
everything I knew just like got completely like flipped upside down, right? It
For
was
sure,
like
man.
crazy. And really, I didn't like snap out of it till like the start or more towards the end of my sophomore year. So
Yeah.
I took a class, right? And keep in mind, I'm still a sport management major as well. I can touch on
Yeah.
that in a second too,
For
like more
sure.
like go like some of the stuff that happened there. But
Yeah.
I took a class called Intro to ESports, which is like, okay, that's a
That's
college
wild.
class.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
My school, like Shenandoah, was actually one of the first schools, I believe, in the nation to offer like some like courses like that, some like
Yeah.
major like esport majors as well. So I took that class, and my professor's name is Professor Scroggins. I credit him for getting me started, YouTube, literally everything, right? So
Yeah.
the last assignment we had for that, right, was just to create a piece of content. And this is actually still the first video on my channel. It's actually like a Call of Duty funny moment video with
Yeah,
me
yeah.
and my roommates. It is completely random. I'm never going to delete it.
Yeah.
And I was always really like passionate about Madden because I liked football, right? And I
For
would,
sure.
like I was like an avid, like, like Zan, Dubby, like all the tip
Yeah, yeah.
stuff just to like
The
beat up
OGs.
on,
For
yeah,
sure.
just to like beat up on, like the people I knew, and then, that I would get called like the glitch play user or whatever. We don't want to
Yeah,
play
yeah.
you, you run glitch play. Yeah. So it was like that whole thing. And, yeah, so what really got me started was taking that class and that final assignment, just make a piece of content, first YouTube video on the channel. And ever since that day, it's just been like, I fell in love with it and it's really what I wanted to do.
Yeah.
And I always, like, for me personally, I always wanted to be like my own boss. Like, I don't really like when people tell me what to do,
Yeah.
and part of that too, I'm just going to touch on like some of the sport management stuff, kind
For
of
sure.
why I got out of that, right? So I kind of fell out of love with the whole business idea or working in the NFL. I
Yeah.
thought pretty much it was like, oh, there's not too many people. Like, I'm very passionate about the NFL. I want to do something with it. I thought about like trying to be a scout or something, right? But in
For
that like
sure.
industry, you can't really just do it yourself, right?
Well, it's a
You
lot
have
of
to
guys
know
bring
you.
their whole
Yeah.
squad with them, right?
Yeah,
Like
yeah,
they've
yeah.
got their
You have to
staff and
know
their
people.
yeah, for sure.
Yeah. it's literally all who you know. It's not really who would be like the best at the job. It's okay, I know this person that knows this person that knows this person. And I personally just didn't like that because I feel like a
Yeah.
lot of times you can't be authentic with people. Like you just kind of have
Yeah.
to put on like this fake face, and it just really wasn't for me. So I fell out of love with that. But then esports, on the other hand, this is something that's like it's pretty much sports management, just video games.
Yeah.
And to me, it felt like the people were a lot more authentic. So I really just fell in love with that and just like the whole business model. I went on trips to South Korea, Amsterdam, with all esports. Like I worked
Yeah.
like a League of Legends event. I worked
Oh, dude, League of Legends
what's it
is
called?
huge. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, the
Yeah, it
StarCraft
was
is big out
crazy.
there too. I know StarCraft's got like a whole
Yeah.
bunch of Korean athletes that are like world
Hmm.
class. Yeah.
Yeah, it was awesome. It was like definitely a lot different from Madden. And yeah, I went down to North Carolina, worked one of the Halo Championship Series. And this is all before, like, this is like Madden 20 Dill, by the way, doing all
Yeah.
this
Yeah.
stuff. Yeah, so that's pretty much the college journey just summed
Yeah.
up. It was a lot of like just trying to find out what I like wanted to do, right? And I think my biggest piece of advice for people, especially if you're just going into college or like maybe you're just leaving high school or something, right? Um, I thought I knew what I wanted to do. I had no clue what I wanted to
Yeah.
do. Like if you would have told me that I would have the opportunity to be like do YouTube or like Twitch as like a high school, I'd be like, no, like
Yeah.
that would never ever be the case. Cause I'm just like you just change like a lot. And like some of your interests, like maybe it's just not what you really seem. You know what I mean?
Yeah, for sure.
So yeah, that's pretty much the college journey summed up for me.
Definitely. You know, my college forces you to go undeclared in your first year. It doesn't let you declare a major
Yeah.
when you're in your first year because, you know, you go out and take 10 classes in one field and then you might find you absolutely hate it. It's good to definitely leave yourself wiggle room to kind of find out
Yeah.
what you're drawn to. And, you know, obviously the skills that you picked up in college have kind of dovetailed nicely with what you're doing now full time as a content creator. You know, I want to take before I move on to a little bit more stuff. I wanted to take a look at the man cave behind you there. I see a bunch of stuff up on the walls there.
Yeah.
So, did you
Yeah.
have like a prized possession or like something that you're most proud of that you have up on your wall? It looks like a lot of collectibles, a lot of sports stuff
Okay.
up there.
So there's a lot of like I can't take off a lot of it and show you, but there's a
Yeah,
lot of
yeah.
like there's just so much dolphin stuff, so much sign stuff. There's some helmet sign and everything.
Yeah.
I can show you my personal favorite thing that this is one of my friends made me, but just pure dolphin stuff is
Yeah.
like the signed Jason Taylor jersey. That was my favorite
Yeah.
player growing up. But actually right here to my side here, I'll grab
Yeah,
this real
let's take
quick.
a look.
But this here we go. This right here is
Nice.
a hand drawn to a picture. Right, this is that was
Unreal.
a hand drawn to a picture that my best friend got me for my birthday. So I thought that was just awesome, and I
That's
really
awesome,
like
man.
stuff like that. So yeah,
Yeah, that's
yeah,
a one-on-one right
I
there.
might
That's
like
really
that
cool.
to a guy, you know.
Oh, for sure, man. No, that's you got a sweet setup over there.
Yeah.
And you know, I wanted to ask you. So you're from Virginia. Like, are there a lot of Dolphins fans there? Like, or how did you end up rooting for the Dolphins? Like, what is the most popular consensus team in Virginia? Because they don't have their own
So,
team, right? They got a lot of college football, but not
exactly.
a lot of pro.
So there's not a lot of us Dolphin fans here. There are some, which is kind of like weird. Like I don't know. I don't
Yeah.
really know how I became a fan. It's so this is what the story is, right? So my dad didn't have a team, right? Like he grew up, and like you said, Virginia. You would think it would be Washington. Like that's what a
Yeah.
lot of people like, but they actually play in Maryland. So
Yeah.
we don't really have like a local NFL team, and my dad didn't have a team. Like his parents weren't growing up watching football, but
Yeah.
a lot of his high school, middle school friends, like pretty much that's like what like kids watch, or like the the boys, that's what they
Yeah,
watch,
yeah.
right? So he did a paper on Dan Marino in high school, and
Yeah.
ever since that day became a fan. So yeah, Dan
Oh,
Marino
that's
was the
awesome.
reason why. And that's when the Dolphins, we were pretty tough back then,
Yeah.
but
You know, Dan
yeah.
Marino's
And
probably
then-
one of the first like NFL players that I knew of before I really watched
Mhm.
football when I was a kid. I remember he was in Ace Ventura playing himself back in the day.
Yeah.
I forgot about that. I was watching it was on TV the
Mhm.
other day. I was like, oh damn, I forgot that there was this whole Dan Marino storyline in there. But yeah, one of the
Yep.
biggest names for sure. Iconic quarterback. Never won a championship with them though, right? He set a lot of records.
No,
One of the most
sadly,
prolific passers of all time. But
Yeah, he's my
yeah,
goat. All right, he's my goat. He's my second goat. Okay, I'll say that. Two was number one. Dan
two
number
is
two.
number one. That's a bold
I'm
statement.
kidding.
So,
No, 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 no. Just kidding. Just kidding. Of
but like,
course.
where would you rank if you had to rank Tua right now? Because I know you're a big believer in Tua, and he started off the year last year like just on fire. I know he's had injury
Yeah.
issues, and it was concussions, right, for him that was like plaguing him
Yeah.
primarily,
Yeah.
which
Yeah.
is
Yeah.
kind of a scary thing. But if you had to rank him like in the NFL right now, like an unbiased, or you could be biased, it's up to you. Where do you think he ranks, or what range?
Number one. No, I'm kidding.
Number
Okay,
one. There
so
you go. Jersey number
unbiased,
one.
unbiased, right?
Yeah.
So my unbiased take. Okay, I think he is on the level of pretty much every quarterback that just kind of they put up the stats, right? Like he just
Yeah.
led the league in passing, which everyone's like, okay, that
Yeah.
doesn't matter. You know, we need to have the team success. If we have a playoff win, I don't really like it's like a, top five quarterback, like
Yeah.
whatever. I'm a tierless merchant, okay?
Of
I like
course.
my tiers more. So I just
Absolutely.
want to put him on the level of like everyone that's hasn't gotten it done in the postseason, right?
Yeah,
I
like a
think he's put up good
Justin
stats for
Herbert,
two
somebody like
years.
that. Would you say him and Justin Herbert same tier, or I mean, Herbert's
You
got no
know,
weapons this year, so who
call
knows?
me call me a crazy man. Call me a crazy man. I'm just
Yeah,
saying. Just
yeah,
saying, okay?
yeah. I think he gets a lot of hate because he's left-handed too. I don't know if that's just from the Madden
Yeah.
community hating left-handed quarterbacks in general, but I think the lefty factor definitely plays into some people sleeping on him a bit. But I mean, the division's pretty tough this year. Like the Bills took a big step back. Like just looking at all the players that have left and limited free agent signings, I would say. Um, do you think the Dolphins take the division this year? Who do you think is their biggest competition at this point? The
I
Jets.
want to
The
say
Jets are
yes.
like scary if Rodgers is healthy. I don't know.
Yeah, I just want to see how Rodgers plays. I still
Yeah,
think the Bills are going to be really good.
yeah,
I think it's the Bills division to lose. Like last year, we had like a crazy lead on the division. Then we just can't get it done in December. So
yeah,
I don't know. I just want to see us get it done in December. I hope we can win the division. I
yeah,
just want to win a playoff game. That's all I want.
for
One
sure.
playoff game, man. I think we have like the longest drought of not winning a playoff game now, and I
Yeah,
don't know, man. It sucks. It sucks.
it's
Being a Dolphins fan, it's kind of sad sometimes, man.
it is tough, and football's got like one of the longest off seasons too. So like when you don't get
Yeah.
it done, you got to sit with it for a long time compared to other sports that have a longer, more extended season. So yeah, definitely, I feel you on that one. I mean, I can relate to it too because I mean I think Kirk Cousins had maybe one playoff win his entire time with the Vikings, and he was here for 5 years. So I mean,
Yeah.
you can have a good team, and once December hits, it's everything that you show in the regular season. It's a different brand of football. Stuff gets
Yep.
called differently. It's tough, man. Some teams have that intangible, and but hopefully you guys get over the hump this year. I mean, at least you got the Patriots who
Yeah.
are in a real downswing right now. I think the Patriots will be bad for a few years.
Yeah.
So you have a couple free wins heading your way at least. But college football wise, so you grew up in Virginia, so I was thinking you were going to be a Florida FSU fan, but like, do you have a college team that you root for as well with NCAA coming out around the corner?
So college, honestly, I root for more like players than anything.
Yeah,
Like if I want the Dolphins like draft someone, I'm like, okay, I like this guy. I want to root for him and like when he plays. And for the most part too, I always try to root for underdogs.
yeah,
Like that's my favorite part of like college. Like the unranked being the ranked or like the low ranked being the high ranked. You know what I'm saying?
yeah,
I would say if I had to pick a team, it would be Miami, but
yeah,
they've been kind of they like. I think the Dolphins are bad or like they've been
yeah.
mediocre. Miami's like the same thing, man. They start out, I feel like they're always top 25, and then by the end of the season, they end up unranked. I
Yeah.
know they got a Cam Ward transfer in there. I think that's gonna be exciting. I think they're gonna be a cool team to use in NCAA with him.
Oh
But
yeah, definitely.
yeah, I know my dad is like a Michigan fan, but I just don't want to root for Michigan because they're like the like
Yeah.
number one team.
Oh, for
Just won the
sure.
championship.
You can't
I
bandwagon
can't
it.
root. Yeah, I can't root for a favorite. I got to root for the underdog, man.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, Miami had like Ray Lewis, Ed Reed. They had some pretty iconic teams over the years. I,
Yeah.
I actually watched an ESPN 30 for 30 on that team. I think The Rock might have been on that team too. I want to say like they
Yeah,
had and
yeah.
the former Cowboys coach, what's his name, Jimmy, not
Jimmy Johnson?
Jimmy Johnson. Yeah, like he coached those guys back in the day in their heyday. But it's tough, man. It's competitive. Like there's always a few programs that are always at the top, like Bama and Georgia now and Clemson. It seems like there's a few that are always perennial contenders, but
Yeah.
man, I love it. College football, it's one of those things. There's only so much time Like I watch every single major sport. It's hard to also give up another day for college football, but I watched a lot of it earlier in the year,
Yeah.
man. It's the rivalries and like the pageantry is like next level. And it is kind of different too. There's so much turnover. Like if you have a good player, he's only going to be on your team for 2 years, and then he's out of there. So it's hard to root for a team because the guys that you're made you a fan in the first place are going to be moving on. Unless they're like a super senior during COVID and they spend 6 years there. But
Hmm.
one thing I wanted to ask you about. So you kind of already answered this question, how you got your start in content creation. So did it really?
Hmm.
Your first video was an assignment for your program. Um,
Yep.
is there a video that you made or a style of video that you made when you kind of figured, hey, I could really grow on this platform? Like, what was the first kind of breakout video for you where you felt like things really started to kick into high gear?
That's a really good question. So, for me, so like an overview of when I started, right? Like I said,
Yeah,
I did like a COD funny moments, right?
yeah,
And then like the video after that, oh, how I used to record videos. Oh man, I used to go live on Twitch,
yeah,
and then I would like talk, just like
yeah, yeah,
basically
yeah,
try to record a YouTube video with
yeah,
like
yeah,
zero
yeah. I did that too. I
viewers,
did that too.
then
Yeah,
download it. Oh man, so cringy. Like I look back,
yeah,
it's so cringy. And yeah, for a while, that's like what I did. Tried to do a little bit of like tip stuff, like I thought that's the direction I wanted to go.
yeah,
It's been a couple of times where I was like gameplay tip wise, that's
yeah,
what I
yeah,
thought I wanted to do with content. And I mean, some of like the recent stuff I did with like gameplay tips didn't do bad, but like really didn't get anything to stick. But my issue, like looking back, I did no research at all into the community. Like I had
yeah,
no like I didn't really I watched like Zayn and like Dubby and
yeah,
stuff, right? And like a bunch of like TD Presents and like all these other guys, but like I didn't ever really think like anything would really come out of this. So I was just doing stuff that like I wanted to do, right? Like I didn't really care like, oh, I got like 10 views, whatever. I just had fun doing it, right?
yeah,
So I
for
would
sure.
just do stuff like, I don't know, I want to try to run triple ops or like some like scheme something just like weird. Or I used to do
Yeah,
like back when mutt draft was a real thing, I used to do like a random mutt draft every Monday.
yeah,
But I think my biggest mistake, and I know you said like overall, like what like took off for me
yeah,
and like
yeah,
what I thought like went good, but I feel like it's good to just know like what went wrong too
yeah,
and
yeah,
like what I just
absolutely.
didn't realize. So my biggest thing was like I didn't commit to like Ultimate Team. I didn't commit to like gameplay tips. I didn't commit to Mutt Draft. It was like basically the YouTube algorithms like
Yeah,
what the hell is this channel trying to do?
yeah,
And then also there was a time where Madden 22 did not like Madden. That is my most hated Madden. And
yeah.
I know a lot of people don't like 24 right now.
Was 22
I,
the one with Brady and Mahomes on the cover? I'm trying to think. Was
I
that
think so. Yeah,
might
that
have
was
been.
when everyone would just roll out with the skate bars and just throw PA boot one
Oh,
play touchdown every
and by the
time.
end of the year they had it
Oh,
like 12 AP or
disgusting.
something for escape artists, right? They tried to
Yeah,
fix it by making it, but people would still use that ability because it was so worth it. Yeah,
it
yeah,
was
yeah,
disgusting. That was you could just lowball everything too. That was a disgusting Madden, and
yeah,
it was actually a pretty good Ultimate Team. But again, I was more like like gameplay.
yeah,
So,
yeah,
um, yeah, so Madden 22, I tried to switch things up. I did some NFL content, which is still on my channel. That actually did
yeah,
pretty good. So I was like, oh, I'm gonna do like reaction stuff, reactions to
yeah, yeah,
games and stuff like that. Like I think that's the first time I ever hit like 1,000 views on a video or something. I think
yeah,
it was like a random reaction to a Dolphins Bills game, something like
yeah.
that.
I know Jack's been
And
doing a lot of that stuff too. I've seen on TikTok.
yeah.
It's a cool thing, like to
Hmm.
I like that you're not like pigeonholing yourself into doing one thing because you could have multiple channels when it's all said and done down the road.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, exactly. So like I did enjoy that.
yeah.
And I tried to do something like that at the beginning of the year. This year it's just the copyrights on those
Oh
videos.
yeah,
It's like I don't understand how people do it. But
yeah,
so yeah, so I tried to do that, and then by the end of Madden 22, like I also was playing a lot of 2K as well, and I think
yeah,
that's the first time the Twitch stream started to do really, really good. Like I was
yeah,
damn near like partner numbers playing 2K, just park
yeah,
with viewers every day, and we got a couple like big time raids. Like it was his name was Splice,
yeah,
and he used to play with like Ticino and stuff. And
yeah, yeah,
like if you
yeah,
know like Ticino on 2K, that you know being
for
his
sure.
duo, they get right. But like that was pretty crazy too. And I went into Madden 23 and I was like, do I want to play Madden or do I want to play 2K? And I said 2K, the park thing, it's going to get boring for me. I was
Yeah,
already getting bored of it. So I said Ultimate Team, Ultimate Team, Ultimate Team. So Madden 23, really, I knew what videos started to do good because in 22 I started to do like the tier list
Yeah,
stuff,
yeah,
like best quarterback, blah blah blah, blah whatever. Those videos did really really well. My thing was I just didn't want that to be the only part of my channel. You know what I'm
yeah,
saying? So
for
like
sure.
those videos were the start of like, okay, this is like actually going somewhere. But really, if I posted a gameplay video, it just wouldn't do good.
Yeah,
And like when I say don't do like say like tier list video gets like 1,000 views, like gameplay would get like 100. Like it
yeah,
just
yeah,
I
yeah.
was like I am wasting my time. So
And you're probably putting a lot
this
of effort
year,
into the gameplay videos too.
yeah,
Like,
yeah, yeah.
yeah,
So this year as well, like I think Madden 20 for me, Madden 24, like my like growth or whatever, where I've like actually feel like very comfortable with my channel, really
yeah,
started in December, and I started doing a couple different things like different, right?
yeah,
So December, January, and like February, I really like locked in. Like it was my first time ever streaming over 100 hours. You know, I got
yeah,
motivated with like the drops and everything too, but didn't take a lot of time off. You know, no part timer there.
yeah,
um
for sure.
and for the gameplay side of things, like video wise, I switched up like my thumbnail style. Like again, the older videos like Madden 22, Madden 23, those
Yeah,
thumbnails were so trash. I
yeah,
wish I wish I could just tell myself like go back and be like, just try a little bit, please. Like
yeah.
do something. But
That's part of the
so they
learning
were just
curve though too. I feel
yeah.
like everybody, when you're making that progress, like I at
Mhm.
one point deleted a bunch of mine because I was like, I can't even look at these.
Yeah.
And you look back a year ago and you're probably gonna look at your thumbnails, which are really good right now, a year from now, and be like, man,
Yeah.
it's just the evolution continues.
hmm
Yeah,
So yeah, so like for me too, like I said, like streaming every single day, switched up the thumbnail style a little bit, like really for Madden 24, try to get everything going.
yeah,
Just to be like, like set up like basically made like a bunch of like presets to just
yeah,
make
yeah,
like life a lot easier for me. And for the gameplay side of things, the biggest thing that I was worried about was for me, I pretty much upload every single day at 11 a.m. I've been
yeah,
doing that for like years. My thing was I was worried that okay, if I drop a gameplay video at like 10 p.m., right? I'm
yeah,
like, the Noti Gang subscribers, they aren't
yeah,
going to
yeah,
click on it. But what I just started doing was I think the biggest thing for me gameplay wise was say for instance, you know, uh Ultimate Legend Joe Montana just came out Saturday, right?
yeah,
So I would get the gameplay of him and then I would upload it Sunday.
yeah,
And I found for me that just does not work. Like
yeah.
like Throne and like, I think
They've already got their
K-Mac,
stuff
like
out.
they can do that. They can upload
Yeah,
a gameplay on a card like a week later, make it like an hour long. That'll work for them.
for sure.
Did not work for me. So yeah, I just started like doing a lot of more like timely stuff and like a
Yeah,
lot of my gameplays are just like late night and I found them to do a lot better than what they used to do. And really I think the biggest thing though, like the timing, but the biggest thing for me was TikTok. Like
yeah,
TikTok has been unreal.
yeah,
And like it is not even necessarily like me posting the videos on TikTok. TikTok streaming has been the biggest game changer. I'm saying
yeah,
like when we had drops for Madden, like I had like I think the highest ever viewer count I've ever had. I
yeah.
think it was like almost 800 people, no raid, no nothing. I was like, am I being botted or something, man? But it was just
Yeah.
literally like,
People coming from
TikTok was
TikTok.
going crazy. Everyone was going from TikTok to Twitch and
Yeah,
like I think that was the biggest game changer for me too was committing to TikTok. And I wish I did it earlier. Like I know Jack
for
was
sure.
talking about it. I think and even Madden 23, like, y'all got to get on TikTok. Y'all got to get on
Yeah,
TikTok. And I was like, I don't really want to because I was also scared to, or not scared, but maybe a little bit nervous because a bunch of like my IRLs were like, "Hey, I saw you on the For You page or whatever," and I'm
yeah.
like, "Oh, it's so like I don't know.
Oh,
I
dude,
just
I
wasn't
know.
really like comfortable with it. It's
Yeah.
definitely like weird thing, but
The discoverability on
yeah,
TikTok seems to be the most of anything. Because I'll tell you, I did one
hmm
live stream on TikTok, and I'm a teacher. I keep it separate, like my streaming thing from my students.
hmm
But the one time I went live on TikTok, I was in the recess yard, and I had my students coming up to me like, "Oh, I saw you on live yesterday." I was like, "Oh my god!" Immediately made my
yeah,
account private for a couple weeks and like laid low.
yeah,
It's tough, man. But I mean, as a
hmm
full time content creator, exposure is kind of what you're looking for now. So now that you got over that initial fear,
yeah.
it's opened a lot of doors. It seems like.
hmm
Yeah.
Yeah, TikTok's definitely been the game changer as well. I will say too, My bad. I feel like I'm like jumping around a little bit,
No,
but
I
I
love
just
it.
like
No, you're
literally remembered
answering.
something, so
Yeah,
my
yeah,
bad
go
on
for it.
that. Also, so when I became like full-time content creator, I was like,
Yeah,
hey, this is what I want to do as well. So this was January of Madden 23.
yeah,
So this is like I'll be like looking back, I understand what I saw, but like I didn't even think I'd get to like where I'm at like now.
yeah,
But so then, right? January Madden 23, this is basically like year ago. Not around this time,
yeah,
obviously a couple months before, but so what happened was I was in grad school at the time. I was a grad assistant. I was literally getting my grad school paid for by the school.
wow, nice.
But however, it was basically like almost like two full-time jobs. It was very hard to
Yeah,
balance, like going up to the school, coming back, going up to the school, doing YouTube, doing Twitch, doing like all
yeah,
that stuff. I couldn't do it. And like I remember I had a conversation with my parents. I was like, look, I'm gonna make the content stuff work. I think grad school right now is just a waste of time. I already got
yeah,
my undergrad degree.
yeah,
Like I have the degree. If this doesn't work out, I can always go back. But
yeah,
I'm not gonna have this forever. Like it's like
for sure.
I felt like I was always like kind of like if I could commit, I could go like crazy. You know what I'm saying? Like
Yeah,
if I
definitely.
could like really like allocate all my resources, all my energy into this one thing,
Yeah,
then I'll be like successful or whatever, right? But I just couldn't do it with like school, everything going on. So
yeah,
this is when like I was nowhere like financial wise, nowhere near like full time
yeah,
content creator by any means. But you know, we just went crazy and then started double uploading, triple uploading,
yeah,
uploading to TikTok, Twitch, all this other stuff. Cause I know a lot of people always say like quality over quantity.
yeah, for sure.
For me, I don't really think it's like I have it's obviously not like the most edited videos in the world, but it's what I enjoy doing. It's like updating like who I think the best cards in the game are, you know, gameplays of
Yeah,
cards, and I just like dropping videos frequently. It's what I like to
definitely,
do.
man.
So, yeah, different style for everyone, but yeah,
Absolutely.
that's really like the whole like journey of like my thought process through everything like when I thought stuff was going to take off, really like the kind of start of Madden 23 where I saw like some like videos do good. The streams I thought were doing pretty decent too. And then really
Yeah,
24 TikTok. That's the biggest thing for
yeah.
me. Like
Absolutely, and
really
it's
helped.
it's spilled over into Twitch too. Because every time I go on, and you're right up there, man, with the top Twitch streamers now too. Even though you probably would have
Yeah.
considered yourself a YouTube guy first, but
Yeah, I
like
actually think I'm more of a streamer now, which is like weird.
yeah.
It's
Oh
like
well,
weird to
and
say. I'm like,
and is that
yeah.
something like do you foresee yourself going forward? Like, are you gonna kind of follow where the money is? Like if YouTube is really popping off, that you're gonna like dive into that, or are you gonna always intend to kind of do a little bit of everything, a little bit of live streaming and the long form content being posted as well? Like, what's your ideas behind that?
I really like doing everything. Like
Yeah,
I love streaming. I love doing the gameplays. I love interacting with the chat. I love doing the YouTube stuff too. It's just some of
yeah,
the YouTube stuff I do I don't want to do on Twitch, and like same thing like
yeah,
some of the stuff I do on Twitch I don't want everything to be on YouTube, right? So I just really enjoy doing everything, and for me like obviously like burnout is a
yeah.
concern.
Of
So
course.
um well, I have a lot of fun with it. I think one, the chat, even though sometimes, you know, they're kind of like assholes. Sorry for cussing, but no, I'm kidding. But they always keep things fresh and fun, and really like even during like the summer Madden, right? Like right now, it's
Yeah,
like the game. I'll be honest, the game right now is not fun to play, but it's really
yeah,
fun to interact with everyone, and
for
it's still
sure.
really fun to make videos. It's just really like I said, just kind of on the waiting game for NCAA. So yeah,
Yeah,
I always
definitely.
plan on doing everything, and I mean the goal for me moving forward is like I'll just be like kind of like direct to I won't like
Yeah,
hold anything back. So for me, streaming wise and like YouTube wise, I want to be able to say, hey, I'm going to take breaks. I'm gonna be
yeah,
like, okay, like I just don't want to worry about anything like, oh, if I take this day off, you know, I'm gonna fall off. If I take, you know, like if I take week vacation,
yeah,
everything's gonna change. I'm just gonna be like, you know, that's like the one worry that I have because I'm like so
yeah.
go, 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 go. Like it's also good to just like sit back and be like, take
Absolutely,
everything in, you know, just chill and then just like enjoy like life as well, you know, like enjoy like your time on the screen, but also touch grass, you know.
for
That's the
sure.
next step for me.
Yeah,
Just making sure everything's okay and like giving myself the like allowed time off, you know?
Absolutely. It's tough when you're your own boss, essentially, like a private contractor doing stuff that benefits you and you got nobody to answer to at this point. Like it
Yeah.
is tough because every moment that you're not putting something into this, that like there's always work to be done. Like there's always something you could
Yeah.
be working on, I'm sure. And taking a day off it definitely can cause anxiety too. I find that too, even as a part-time
Hmm.
streamer who has a full 9 to 5 job. When I go away for a week on vacation, I want to be able to enjoy that entire week and not feel like, okay, we're gonna fall off. It's gonna take a month to get back to where it was
Yeah.
before. So I can absolutely appreciate that. And you see guys at least like on Twitter, I'm seeing people like Xerxes, for example, who he does the time sensitive stuff too. He puts out a video, right when the content comes out. I know for my life I could never do that because the time crunch is difficult. But the fact that you're
Yeah.
enjoying it now and getting those multiple uploads out the day of, it's funny. 24 hours can make a huge difference in this game. Like
Yeah, for
you
real.
wait till
Yeah.
Sunday to upload an Ultimate Legends video, and it's there's already you know 25, 50 videos in front of you on the search. So
Hmm.
it's a lot. It can be a lot of pressure for sure. Um, but one thing that I wanted to ask you about as well. So you kind of explained the turning point, like those tier list videos started going crazy for you. And this year your gameplay stuff has been doing better as well. Like you found that kind of
Hmm.
has taken off as well. Um, so what would you say is your biggest accomplishment so far in content creation in general? Like obviously Twitch partner happened for you this year. That was a big milestone. We were all waiting for it to happen, and then it really happened. Like it was obvious that it was going to
Yeah.
happen. Like you could see when the what's the thing that you're most proud of in content?
That's a really good question. So, yeah, Twitch partner as well. Like, I think that was so crazy because I got it on the first attempt too,
Yeah,
like the
that doesn't
first
happen.
app.
Yeah,
Yeah, and I was like, I thought I was getting punked though too, because like a bunch of the Twitch staff or whatever were like, check your email, check. I thought I got
yeah,
like chat botted or something. I literally said it at the time. I was
yeah.
like that was insane. My biggest accomplishment though. So I just am really, I would say like proud of like the community, like the Twitch chat, the Discord, even though like it gets a little nasty, right? I feel
Yeah,
like it's I feel like we just have a group of people that, can just, if they want to troll, like they feel like everyone feels like welcomed, I would say.
yeah,
Like I
absolutely.
know, like I said, like I don't know, I'm not really like too strict with thing. I think it's just like really just like chill community. Everyone's welcomed.
Yeah,
Everyone like can crack jokes. Like I'm not really too sensitive. Like you can make
yeah,
fun of me. I can make fun of you. You know what I'm saying? Like it's just, I don't know. I feel
yeah,
like that would probably be the biggest thing for me is just like building the community and like seeing how many like new faces you see every day. Like it's just like crazy. But honestly, that or just like being able to like support myself too, like through
yeah,
this, because I never thought I was like, you know,
yeah.
might have to go apply, have to go to
Get that
indeed.com or
McDonald's
whatever,
application.
like
Yeah,
yeah.
for
So
sure.
yeah, I mean, yeah, that would probably be my like two biggest things. Just
Yeah,
like I really like a lot of like the core community we got,
yeah.
and yeah, just being able to actually do it.
Absolutely. Like if it was easy, everyone would do it. I mean, the idea of being able to make video games your primary source of income is something that like when I was a kid and Twitch didn't exist and I really didn't watch YouTube. Like I went through high school, YouTube still didn't exist till I got to my first year of
Yeah.
college. So like that whole thing didn't even exist. It's a very new frontier kind of. And now you see influencers and like content creators being like a legit thing, but it's like the 1% of 1% that actually can do it as a
Yeah.
full-time income. Anybody can have one banger post or something like that, but to do it
Hmm.
daily and build on what you've already created is rare. So kudos to you. It takes a mixture of you got to have that natural talent for it, got to have the passion for it, and then also the amount of work that goes in behind the scenes to make it happen is something that maybe people don't appreciate sometimes. And I wanted to ask, like, as far as your work day, like your day when you wake up, like what's the schedule look like? How much stuff is happening behind the scenes? How much is happening on camera? And like how many hours would
Hmm.
you say you're putting in? And how many days a week too? Because I know you said today, you're
Hmm.
taking a Sunday off. Most people get a 2 day weekend at least, whatever job you do, right? Like, what's your go to day as far as the work you put in?
Ooh, so it depends. Like, are we saying is it a content day for Madden or a non-content day?
Maybe you could run us through both. Like, let's say it's a content day.
Okay.
It's Thursday, new promos coming out.
Okay, so a content day Thursday, new promo coming out. Usually GMM's live at 10:30.
Yeah.
I'll wake up like I try to wake up every day like 10, and I know some
Yeah.
people are gonna be like, "Damn, that's like late or whatever," right? But like, look, okay, you'll see why we're
Yeah.
up
Yeah.
late
Yeah.
a
When
lot.
we get,
So,
yeah, for sure.
yeah, yeah, yeah. So, 10:30 GMM's live. I try to either like get screenshots of all the cards, kind of like Mortality,
Yep.
upload them into Photoshop, and then just make them like small, and then like upload them to Tier Maker, and
Yep.
then like basically do a video on all the new cards, talk about what came out, like who I think is like the best, who I think is the worst,
Yep.
someone like that. That usually is like in total like getting everything. Probably from like 10:30, including like the GMM stream, 10:30 to like 12.
Yeah.
Usually the video is done by like 12. And
Yep.
then on a content day, depending on if cards are like it's active players or legends,
Yeah.
what I'll try to do as well is do a little bit of like work ahead, and I'll get like in-game screenshots of like the players and
Yep.
everything, like go on I have the Elgato app or whatever, and just like
Yep.
zoom in on them and then hit the screenshot button. So get all that stuff. Try to get a little bit of the thumbnail work done
Yeah.
before content's live, and usually content's live at 1:30. I just go live at 2 because every day I go live at 2,
Yeah.
and it kind of gives one, when content's late, it's actually really really nice. Two, it's just
Yeah.
I don't know. I just again always go live at 2, and content's out. Usually will maybe recently I've been having to buy the special offers
Yeah.
just to keep up with gameplays.
For
And
sure.
I'm about to like I'm gonna spoil some of the content upcoming, but I'm about to nuke the team. Like I'm about to sell
Let's go.
everything off and just rock a budget team, and
Yeah.
then just because I've just lost so many coins. But anyway, so back to the schedule. So usually stream from 2 to 6 as well, and during the stream, use the new cards that I want to get gameplays on.
Yep.
So from 2 to 6, like again, like whether it's quarterback, running back, usually I'll if we start out on defense, I'll use the defensive gameplay, and then if we
Yeah.
start on offense, it'll be like an offensive gameplay. That's also one thing. My bad again. I'm kind of like jumping
No, no,
around a
this
lot
is
of
this is
places,
what we
but
want. This is what we want
so
to hear.
one thing I notice a lot of people do or don't do, right? They don't get defensive gameplays. So like Larry
Yeah.
Wilson or something, right? Like not a lot of people are going to upload a video on him.
Yeah, for
So that
sure.
is something there where I'm like, okay, if I want to do like the main stars tonight, like say like I did the Saturday, right? I know like
Yeah.
Joe Montana, Jordan Love or whatever, like those are like pretty big names, offensive cards. A lot of people
Yeah.
are going to do gameplays on that. I'm going to upload those Saturday, but then Larry Wilson, I can do a video on Sunday. So,
Yeah, for sure.
but now back to the schedule as well. Like I said, gameplay 2 to 6. After 6, I usually go eat dinner with my parents from like 6 to 7. Sometimes it goes to like 7:30.
Yep.
And during that time, I'm literally just downloading my Twitch mod. So it's like, I'd be
Yeah,
waiting
you got dead
anyway.
time anyways. Yeah.
Yeah. And then after that, after I'm done eating, we go ahead and record all the intros to the gameplay. Then we chop everything up, edit them, like then either post gameplays night of, or we go ahead and posted the next day too, if it's like a defensive game, if we have like a lot of gameplays. Because like for instance, yesterday we had like 5 videos in one stream that I really really wanted to do.
Yeah.
And the editing that went into that, again, from like probably like 7:30 to like 11
Yeah.
is usually like, it just depending on how many, right? If it's only like one, then it'll be like maybe like 9, maybe
Yeah.
8:30. It's definitely just depending on how much that is. I should say as well, when 11 hits as well, we've also made all those gameplay videos. We condensed them down into TikToks as well. So
Yeah.
those are going to be TikToks that we post the next day. So yeah, that's what the
Has
night is
that
really looking like. Like
changed?
a lot of editing on a
Yeah.
content day.
Has it, the fact that you're posting to TikTok and trying to kind of get like a, I guess, double return on your investment, has that changed the
Mhm.
type of YouTube videos you put out just because you want to be able to break it down into shorter segments for TikTok, do you
Uh,
find, or?
Honestly, it's made me want to post more gameplay videos
Yeah.
because like a lot easier to make the gameplay videos than the TikToks is just literally just like highlights of the video.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's made me want to do that even more and not just be like a tier list merchant. Like
Yeah,
in
yeah.
Madden 23, I felt like everything I uploaded was like ranking the best, blah, blah, blah,
Yeah.
and now I feel like I still do that, but like we're starting to add to the content as well.
For sure.
So
Yeah.
yeah, like late night, a lot of editing. Now, do you want me to do a non-content day as well? Like I could
Yeah, like
basically
what?
tell you what I do like on a
Yeah, for
Monday or
sure.
whatever, like this
Exactly.
upcoming. Okay,
Exactly. Yeah.
gotcha.
What's tomorrow going to look like for you then, with no more Monday content coming out?
So Monday, like non-content day Monday, these are the days, like I know probably what, Wednesday, Thursday, and probably Saturday as well. I know those are going to be like lock-in days,
Yeah.
like Legends, Ultimate Legends, Thursday promo. So Monday though, this is a day where it's like there's not a ton going on in the morning. So again, I'll
Yeah.
probably like wake up around like 10 again, and then I'll actually go to the gym. Yes, I go to the
There you
gym, I
go.
promise. But
See,
yeah,
chat. He's putting in
get
the
a
work.
get a little bit of a workout in, and then after that, take a shower, eat, whatever. This is like 11, 12, somewhere around there. And what I do is I'll again do like some of like the other content videos where it's like ranking the best whatever.
Yeah.
Or recently what I've been doing is I have a like 14-day trip upcoming
Yeah.
from like June 25th to July 7th.
Yeah.
I already have 7 of those videos done,
Oh, beauty.
so I'm
So you're
basically
doing
just
some
pre-recording, like,
nice.
that's what a lot of this time has been, like non-content days. Usually it's not like that though.
Yeah.
Usually this is when we have like downtime and I can just be like, just like chill and just,
Yeah.
like watch Joker Kale, like
Yeah.
just
Yeah.
chill on the whatever. And non-content days on stream, usually this is where we do stuff like team rates, stuff like that, switch up the
For
content a
sure.
little bit, try to get like people involved that way. Or we just yell at the screen and play head to head. No, I'm kidding, but
Yeah. Yeah.
not really kidding. But so yeah, it's like what non-content days like. And then on the late night I'll just edit the video that I had earlier. And
Yeah.
sometimes I do get to editing it, like say before I start stream. And then the late night I'm really not doing anything. This is
Yeah.
where I
Yeah.
can like just like casually game, chill in
For sure.
Discord. Or if I had plans to go out or anything, we could do that as
Yeah.
well. So yeah, that's pretty much what the daily's looking like.
Yeah.
Content day, non-content day.
It's a lot of planning and a lot of like
Yeah.
avoiding dead time. Like even the fact that you're eating dinner while your video's uploading, is kind of that's something that I definitely feel like it's trying to maximize. I mean honestly, 24 hours I feel like is not long enough for a day. I feel like I
Yeah,
could have 36 hours,
that's true.
and even still I'd be short on time in some cases. So
Hmm.
you got to work within the confines of what we have, but man, it sounds like you're putting in the work, and the fact that you're able to, already have content scheduled. Hopefully, you'll be able to enjoy that vacation or that trip. Where
Yeah,
are you heading
that's
to, if you
gonna
don't
be the
mind me
getaway.
asking?
So
Yeah,
that's gonna be New Jersey as well.
nice.
But I have a first part of the trip. So I actually got a really like cool opportunity that, I mean, I don't know if I'm supposed to leak or not, but we're
Yeah,
leaking
yeah.
it. All right. So
Beauty.
June 27th and 28th at Syracuse University. I have some friends that went from like
Nice.
Shenandoah up to there.
Yeah, yeah.
This is like in New York. I'm gonna be guest speaking there on like content and stuff like that.
Oh wow, that's
Which is
awesome.
actually like it's pretty. I was like, huh? You want me to? They said all expenses paid trip. I said,
That's
okay,
super dope, man. That's
we
really
can make that
cool.
happen. Yeah, I
Yeah.
did. Yeah, I was kind of like, they couldn't get Mr. Beast, so they got me. No, I'm kidding. But
Hey, second
yeah,
best option.
yeah,
Yeah, no, that's awesome, man. Like honestly, one thing that I found the most rewarding about content is when you can kind of take it, because I mean, content is a lot of it is sitting in a room at a PC.
yeah.
Being in Discord, like a lot of it's virtual, right? Especially
Hmm.
considering you started, it sounds like during COVID, the
Yeah,
same way that I would have started when everything was shut down, everything was very distant. So
yeah,
like being able to do something IRL related to streaming is really cool. And I find every
yeah.
time that I meet somebody, I mean, the only people that I've really met are Luch and Up and Adam, but anytime
Hmm.
you can meet somebody that you've kind of met online is a really cool experience. Have you had any instances in the past? Like, how many people from Twitch have you actually met IRL? Or have you had anybody from your stream that you bumped into, or anybody from the stream team?
So I haven't met anyone from like Vertex or anything,
Yeah.
but there's been 2 instances where I got like recognized in public.
Yes.
One was I was just like at a bar, and like this isn't like a late night bar, this is like a food and everything
Yeah.
bar.
Yeah.
It wasn't just like, people just like pound drinks or whatever.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
This like little kid like ran up to me and said like, "Hey, are you blah 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 blah?" And I was like, yeah. I was like, oh,
That's
okay. And then
wild.
we got like a picture and everything. The second time I was with my dad, and we were at the Washington game. It was when Washington played Miami this past year. Yeah, this
Yeah. Yeah.
past year, this past season. And this guy came up to me. I was like on the field, like getting pictures or whatever. And he came up to me.
Yeah.
He was
Yeah.
like, I watch you on YouTube. And he was like a older
Dude.
guy too. So it's like
Yeah.
we had like an older guy, then we had like a little, I was like, okay, so you know, we got like
All the
we got
demographics
a nice
covered.
little like demographic, you know, like we got like the old
Yeah.
folks, we got the young, you know, like we'll take that. And
Dude, that's
yeah,
insane.
that was just like, and my dad was like, wow, like he actually recognized you for
Yeah.
YouTube. It's like that was actually like really, really cool for me because
Yeah.
like my parents are super super supportive with everything I do, but it's kind of
Yeah.
like that is like, oh wow, like this is like a real thing, you know.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, yeah, it's tough like I mean, it was tough for me to understand what Twitch was. And I'm like,
Yeah.
36. I'm one of the older guys as far as Twitch years go, but like I'm still somewhat plugged in, I work with kids all the time,
Hmm.
so I know what the kids are into, but it was hard for me to wrap my head around what Twitch was. I only found Twitch in the first place because sports was canceled with COVID, so I had nothing competitive to watch. So I was like, you know what?
Yeah.
I can't watch the NBA. I can't watch, so I'm gonna watch Madden and see guys competing there. um but for that next generation, it really is like even more far removed, like the
Yeah.
idea
Yeah.
that
Yeah.
what do you do, like my parents, they're legitimate boomers. My parents are significantly older than yours, I imagine, and they know that I stream. They'll come over, they'll help babysit so I can get on for a couple hours, but not really understanding. They're like, what, why do people sub to your channel? Like, why would somebody give you money for playing
Yeah.
video games? Like, that whole idea is so foreign, but
Uh-huh.
definitely validates what you're doing. Like, being approached in public's got to be a crazy, surreal experience the first couple times it happens, and I'm
Yeah.
sure only more of them to come, like in the future. Um,
Hmm.
but one thing I wanted to ask you about, we've talked a lot about your content journey and like getting from where you started to where you are now.
Hmm.
And now we're kind of pivoting to, this is normally the dead season of Madden where you can kind of, like you said, have a couple more nights off,
Yeah.
have some downtime to kind of get ahead and maybe take time off. But now we have NCAA dropping in, like you said,
Yep.
45 or 46 days. How hard are you planning on going into NCAA? How excited are you for it? And what's the content plan there? Is it happening on your current channel? Are you doing a second channel? What are your thoughts on the whole NCAA experience incoming?
All right. So, overview of NCAA for me, I've said this like a bunch of times. I think it's going to be a generational game. I think this is going to be the best sports game of our generation. And I think this is going to be like, you know how a lot of like YouTubers and like Twitch
Yeah,
people, they got the Madden 20 boost, right? Like
yeah, yeah.
Madden 20 during like COVID, everything. That
Oh
was like,
yeah,
they're like, okay, this
for
is
sure.
like baseline. They're getting this, and this, right? So,
Yeah,
um, I think for us, Vertex, and like the I guess I don't like
yeah,
the
yeah,
younger guys. I think this is gonna be our Madden 20.
yeah,
This game, I think this is the most excited I have ever been about like a sports
yeah,
game at all. Like this might be the most excited I've ever been about a video game,
yeah,
especially because like with the content around it. I just think there's so much stuff to do. The offline is gonna be fun,
yeah,
and for me, the content plan. So right now I do have 3 YouTube channels.
yeah,
Two of them I haven't uploaded on in a while just because it was just like too much. Like we were going maybe a little bit too hard on the main channel. So
yeah,
the main channel is going to stay Madden Ultimate Team.
yeah,
That's gonna like be whatever, right? And I actually recently changed. So I had a channel called More Dill. This
yeah,
is again like this was a channel where I was uploading like tip-based content, like gameplay stuff.
yeah, yeah,
When I thought I wanted to do that, and it just kind of I've lost my interest in that. Like
yeah.
I don't know, man. Like I just don't really.
You
I
gotta
just
you gotta
didn't
do
like.
what moves you for
Yeah,
sure. Yeah,
yeah. So with that, I rebranded that. We got Dill NCAA now. Like it's like at Dill
nice.
NCAA as well. So we're gonna have an NCAA channel, and that channel is gonna be like what I do on my main channel, just for NCAA
Yeah, yeah,
Ultimate Team. And I also do have a channel as well. It's called Dill Simulations. This is
yeah,
going to be like Dynasty, Road to Glory, stuff like that.
yeah,
Because I do actually really do want to play that. Ultimate Team's obviously going to be the thing that I play the most, but
yeah,
there's been countless times, whether I'm playing Madden or probably NCAA upcoming too, where playing online is just going to piss you off. Like
yeah,
just
yeah,
the way people
for
play,
sure.
like people play like rats, right? And
Especially with
sometimes
custom
there's,
playbooks, it could get really
yeah.
nasty in NCAA for
Th-
sure.
there's only so much you can really like take, I guess I would say.
Yeah,
And there's a bunch of things about NCAA gameplay wise too. Like I don't know if you saw like the Road to the College Football Playoff, like regs
yeah,
game seems to be like a crazy rank game mode. Like it just seems awesome. Like there's
yeah,
so much to be excited for there. But the Dill Simulations channel is gonna be like, okay, I don't want to play online anymore. I'm annoyed with it. I'm
yeah,
going to play a dynasty,
yeah,
and then I'm going to do it on stream, and then I'm just going to upload the Dynasty part of the stream up to that channel as well. So, yeah, I plan on really grinding NCAA. I'm curious to see a couple of things with NCAA though, because they could make life super easy.
Yeah.
What they could do is, I know Joe has talked about this a ton with their Ultimate Team, but say Madden is dropping content Monday, Thursday, Saturday.
Yeah.
NCAA should probably drop content like
Yeah.
Tuesday, Wednesday, Friday. Like
That would
just
be
don't
beautiful.
double up on content days. So we could start out on Madden or we could start on NCAA and
Yeah.
then we could get the content there.
For sure.
And yeah, just like I'm curious to see though, like how they do that. And it's gonna be a lot of work, but it's also gonna be a lot of fun. For me, it's a lot of just like basically double content everywhere almost.
Yeah.
I'm gonna prioritize Madden, of course, because that's what like the big channel is. But for the first month, NCAA is going crazy, man. I don't think I'm getting off of that game for sure. And then we got Madden right around the corner. So yeah, definitely very exciting time. I also don't think there's really gonna be like a dead season anymore. Because with NCAA, the offline like game modes and like grind, it's just have you played NCAA 14?
You know what?
Or did you play like any
I
of them?
didn't. I played. I probably would have played NCAA
Mhm.
like back in my last year of college, and I only played like my player. I was a middle linebacker playing like from the behind over the shoulder view.
Mhm.
So I've never actually played online. I was playing on Xbox 360 on my buddy's Xbox 360. So
Gotcha.
I don't even know if it was 2K10 or 2007 or something that I was playing. So I've never.
Gotcha.
I had a couple in my head. One with I think Matt Leinart on the cover too, which maybe was like 2004 or 2005. But yeah, I was never really like a fanatic. I didn't even really get big into video games till my late 20s, to be honest. But
Gotcha.
yeah. So talk to me. What were you thinking?
So NCAA, like I play a lot of NCAA 14, and also like they had the whole college football revamp stuff that you can download on your PC. Really played a lot of that, and I will say this: I think Dynasty and like Road to Glory are the two best offline game modes in sports gaming, and they are so fun. And just some of the features they said, like wear and tear and all this other stuff. It seems like there's
I've been
just so
hearing
much
about that.
replayability. Seems like every dynasty is going to be different as well. I'm just really excited because there's also 134 teams that you could potentially rebuild. You can do a team builder. Like there is just the possibilities are endless with that, and I think it's just unlimited content there. Whether you want to do like rebuilds on stream, say like right now, right? You know what I'd love to do right now? Rebuild an NCAA 25 team. I'd love to do that. While Madden's content is just like, like who do you want to play Vanguard every play?
Exactly.
Yeah. So it also seems like it's going to be difficult as well. So I just think what they're doing over there, everything I've read, everything I've seen, I couldn't be more excited. So NCAA calendar is marked. The date is saved. I'm ready. I need it now.
I'm not gonna lie, I don't know how much EA has paid you for this segment here, but like I've been a big like I'm honestly you just cost me like $120. I'm gonna go out and buy the game now because I've been telling my chat, it's like a month and a half and then Madden comes out. It's a really short season, and once Madden comes out, and I've been enjoying the show too, so I want to mix that in as well. Like I've really been finding it just relaxing and fun, and the team building aspect, and the fact that the pack odds are way better. It's been interesting, but you kind of struck a chord with me there. Like talking about the offline modes, I'm not a super skilled player. I'm not an MCS level player. Gameplay can get super frustrating. When it's bad, it's really bad.
Yeah.
So the idea of playing an offline mode that's actually rewarding and has replayability, like that really appeals to me. So it's something I'm gonna have to reconsider now because I've been telling my chat for months I'm gonna enjoy watching people stream NCAA. I'm really excited about it as a viewer, but I'm not gonna spend the money and buy it for a month and a half. But now I'm feeling differently. So and
I would highly recommend it. Highly recommend it.
And that bundle, that deluxe bundle is actually not bad.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, as far as value goes, if you want to get the deluxe of Madden anyways, which I would be doing, it seems like a pretty good deal. So yeah, I think you kind of changed my opinion, and I think your excitement kind of parallels a lot of people in the Madden community. Like whether you played 2014 or not, people are excited about it, and the way that they've rolled it out, especially in the last couple of weeks with like the gameplay kind of leaking and different content creators being tied to different schools. I mean, I saw something yesterday about clicking on defense, like for like the adjustments, like with the stick. It looks insane. It looks like and I wonder too, like, do you think they're going to try and keep the gameplay significantly different between the two games, or do you think what we see in NCAA might be what we see in Madden 25? Like, what are your thoughts on that?
I think the college move. I actually think based on what they said with college so far, to me it seems like it's going to be better than Madden because like the
Yeah,
players are going to be a little bit faster, the movement's going to be there. Obviously,
yeah,
we know nothing about Madden 25 right now,
yeah,
but I think it would be incredibly stupid of Madden to
yeah,
not have the right stick switch and also
yeah,
like the custom stem part of like basically making it to where you can get every single depth of corner out, you could get a deep
yeah,
post, a short, but like there are so many things that I think NCAA basically made it to where I feel like every formation is going to be usable
yeah,
because like you can just have full customization over your routes. And
yeah,
that's like one of the biggest culprits of like, oh, why do people run gun bunch offset? Why do
yeah,
people run gun bunch strong? Oh, they have unique routes that are only in that formation. Like they have short corner routes. They have the best post route in the game. You know what I'm saying? So
yeah,
I think being able to add that to literally any single offense is going to be really, really nice. Now, are we still going to see bunch and like trips and like all this other stuff? Probably a lot, but I mean,
yeah,
it just makes like everything runnable. And I just, if Madden does not have that, I think that
yeah,
is a big time failure on their part. I
yeah.
would be shocked if they don't have those two features.
Yeah, and essentially, like, this means Hot Row Master is not going to be a thing that's needed for
Yeah.
NCAA. Like, you're going to have, and honestly, I would love that too. Like, I think, clearly they're not moving away from abilities in NCAA. I saw the picture with all the abilities, and there's tons of
Yeah.
them, but it sounds like no X Factors, which is, I think, one of my biggest gripes with Madden right now.
Yep.
The pre-lit X Factors are insane, and it kind of reduces the skill gap too, because you'll have guys that run
Hmm.
an offense that's ineffective, and all of a sudden, when Angry Runs comes out, the thing that they've been running and getting
Yeah.
stopped every time is now effective because it's so overpowered. So, I mean, that alone, I feel like if you don't play NCAA, you're going to be missing out on really like fun and unique gameplay. And honestly, maybe a little bit back to Madden 20, which, for a while they were like, oh man, it's way too fast, way too arcadey. And then
Yeah.
after a few years with a new engine, we're all like, you know what? That actually might have been peak Madden. It was fun. Stick was like a big thing. Like it was so easy to get gameplay highlights back then. And now it's a little bit more
Yep.
plotting and slow. So
Yeah.
definitely excited to try it out. And at the very least, I'll be watching a ton of NCAA content. Excited to see what you come up with. Um, the last thing I wanted to ask you about, because we've been on for about an hour now, we've had a really good conversation.
Yep.
You've accomplished a lot. You've told us kind of your process, your journey. Do you have any like, concrete goals set for the future, like as far as content goes, or just, anything really? Like, what are your goals going forward in this year, and then maybe long term too?
So I feel like everyone always wants to like grow,
Yeah,
obviously. For me, I have like two very I have one very simple goal and then one's like I have one number goal, right? So
yeah,
I want to reach 100,000 YouTube subscribers, which
yeah,
probably isn't going to happen. It'll be like probably like a couple of years in
yeah,
the future, but I really want that. I want my plaque,
yeah.
I do
That's
want that.
huge. Yeah, for sure.
Um Besides that, I just really the goal for me just keep being able to support yourself, just keep being myself and just don't get complacent either. Like
Yeah,
I do want to add some things going into next year too. I guess one of my goals would be I want to get back on the YouTube short game because I
yeah,
feel like that is a really like good way to get subscribers. Now are all those new subscribers going to click
for
onto the
sure.
video? But you know I just feel like a lot of sponsors as well really take a look like, oh, this person has this amount of subscribers, so we're gonna give them this amount of like whatever, right?
Yeah,
So I think that's a really big part of it. So yeah, I think next year, like content wise, I want to basically do what I'm already doing
yeah,
and just keep the ball rolling there because
for
I think
sure. You
I
got good
really like what
momentum.
I'm uploading right now
Yeah,
and really just add YouTube shorts on top of that
yeah.
and then 100K subscribers in the future and yeah, just keep it going like that.
Awesome, man. Those are some lofty goals, but I'm sure you'll get there. Like you got a lot of positive momentum going right now. You've checked a lot of boxes like on the way with Twitch partner and obviously being a YouTube partner as well. So I wish you all the best on those goals. I'll be rooting for you along the way and enjoying the content along the way. Um, Hopefully, chat enjoyed the podcast, the interview. I've seen a lot of positive comments and the trolls coming through as well. Like you said, you got your community is never going to let you slide that easy, but
Yeah, 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 yeah.
Dill, man, I really appreciate you coming through, sitting down for the conversation. Enjoyed the podcast thoroughly, man. I'll be posting this up on YouTube in the next couple days for anybody who didn't get a chance to watch it live. But yeah, thanks again, man. Really appreciate this.